The other thing is that they're very high in sugar, fat, and salt, and that can absolutely lead to cravings and overeating. In fact, this combination of sugar, salt, and fat, and a bunch of chemicals for sure, turns on what's called hedonic hunger. So you've heard of hedonism. So it comes from that word, which basically makes you feel like you want to eat more even though you're not even hungry, or the concept of having a dessert stomach. And I grew up with that. My mom and I are both sugar addicts. Well, I was. I guess you say when you're an addict, you're always an addict. So yes, I still am a sugar addict, but I don't eat sugar. But growing up, my mother used to talk about having a dessert stomach. So that was the concept that you're full, but it really doesn't matter because it's now time for dessert. And you have a separate stomach, of course you do. And so dessert is fine to consume at that point. So I grew up with that. I'm not sure if any of you did, but there you go. Food manufacturers, they work very hard to create this perfect combination of sugar, fat, and salt to make this highly palatable, addictive food. But it's a very, the experience, they call it, is a bliss point. So you've reached your bliss with this food. And certainly having been someone who loved chocolate and loved ice cream, I get that. You know, like a bliss, I can definitely think of ice cream and go, that was pretty blissful. Historically, not anymore. But they work very hard to create that, so you'll come back for more. There was a very interesting, a 2023 study, this was published in the NIH, but that it said, if they found that highly processed foods can meet the criteria to be labeled addictive substances using the standards set for tobacco products. So we know tobacco is addictive. And so I thought that was an interesting correlation.